Good evening from ABC News Headquarters in New York. I'm Frank Reynolds.
The fact that in the 70s there were only 3 television networks, a handful of radio networks, and people did not have easy access to the airwaves, and there were lots of filters from getting information on the air through producers and executive producers and all that. It was hard to get something on the air. Today, everybody's a producer. Social media sites, YouTube, anybody can make anything up and put it on a website for many to see.
This week, China and the World Wide Web, what the authorities there are doing to keep rumors in check and the media under control.
I think by the fact that China has always adopted a rather draconian, heavy-handed approach to its media censorship, normally and historically speaking, the spread of fake news is not as serious a problem in the mainstream news media, mostly because, especially state-level media, because the government tends to exercise great caution and a rather scripted, heavily sanctioned approach to the dissemination of information through the state news media.
As the Kremlin has steadily tightened the screws on domestic news outlets. Over the past few years, ownership of mass media in Russia has shifted almost entirely into the hands of the Kremlin's allies. Moscow has also blocked access to VPNs, the virtual private networks that allowed citizens to circumvent censorship online.
They have a built-in tradition of trying to sway public opinion. I mean, just like the United States government does, but we do a shitty job because we have a free press and we all yell at each other. But over there, it's very smart. And the questions they raise are legitimate. You have to think about it. And it does offer a perspective that makes you wonder. On the other hand, try to criticize Putin. Try to criticize corruption. Try to do investigative journalism in Russia and show how various people are making off like a bandit with the people's money, basically. I mean, there's a lot of corruption, starting with Putin. Try to cover that. Where do you end up? In the Gulag?
You're not going to last like a long time as a journalist if you try to do it.
You'll be dead.
Yeah.
You're either dead
Exactly.
or you're locked up. What fake news is a tactic that's being used by President Trump to discredit the press, because he is fearful that the press will provide information that might sway public opinion against him. He's trying very hard to maintain public support on his agenda. And so therefore he would discredit all news organizations as fake and the enemy of the people, which I think is reprehensible.
Since the 2016 presidential election, we're witnessing a new discourse in which our current administration would tend to call any unflattering news as fake news, which in this 2016 vaccine crisis, I saw a similar practice by the state government saying, do not buy into the fake news, do not buy into the rumor, even though it may make us look bad. However, the public became very skeptical, almost cynical. It was really hard for the public to trust the government when there's this general tendency for the government to just call any unflattering news fake news.
Right. So the question is, what is the better system? Where people are free to express opinions and everybody can think about all the different perspectives and try to make judgments, or whether you're getting the highly crafted story that supports the government that's in place. I mean, it's just...
in a better light,
I just think that that's what makes this country great. It also is a pain in the ass, but it's what makes the country great.